Hi, welcome to Chess Base Workshop for another week. My name is Steve. Thanks for clicking on the link and joining us. We've been taking a look at the Fritz12 interface and things you can do with Fritz12. And I've had some questions come in about a couple of features dealing with identifying games by opening. We looked at one last week real quick. We're going to do another quickie this week. This one's real easy and real useful. I'm going to show you how to put ECO codes into the headers of games. First of all, you need to open up the database that you're going to be working with. And just as a refresher, there's a couple different ways to open up a database. The easiest way is to hit the F12 key on your keyboard. The other way is you go to this green button up here in the upper left corner. And this is pretty amazing. It looks like it's just decorative, but there's an awful lot of useful stuff you can get to by clicking this button. So let's give her a click, and we have a whole menu of stuff that pulls down. And if we want to open a database, we just go to Open and Open Database. Pow, there we are. And it's the same thing as hitting the F12 key. Now what we're looking at here is we're looking at a small database of games. What this may look familiar. These are the games of the recent World Championship match between Topalov and Anand. I've been working with this, doing a little bit of blogging about some of the games, so I've had this database has gotten some use. And what I did was I went in game by game and I took out the ECO codes out of the headers just so I could demonstrate this. So normally, if you have the opening code, the Encyclopedia of Chess openings code for an opening, it's going to appear usually right before the date, right before the year that the games were played. And you can see as I'm moving the mouse up and down, there's a big old blank right there. We don't have any Encyclopedia of Chess opening ECO codes in the headers. So here's how you put them in, and the program will do it for you. First, you go to the database menu up here at the top, click on it to get a different ribbon with different buttons. You roll right over here and you see ECO in big red letters. Well, you got a pretty good idea that's where we're heading. If you click that button, it's highlighted in orange right now, set ECO codes, what it will do is put the ECO codes in the headers of all the games in that database. Now before we do it, the obvious question is, how long will this take? That depends on your computer, the speed of your processor, depends on the size of the database. If you're doing this on a database of tens of thousands of games, it'll go relatively quickly, I guess, or fewer games. If we're getting into the hundreds of thousands of games, or we're talking about doing millions of games, then it's going to take a little while. Typically, rule of thumb is if it's a database of 10,000 games or more, walk away for a little while, come back and check on it. You may not want to sit there and wait on it unless you got a really fast computer. Again, I don't have tons and tons of computers in my possession, tons and tons of hardware. If it's a small data, so I can't try it on all different configurations and give you exact numbers. I mean, that's just kind of silly. What we have here, though, is we have a 12-game database. This is going to happen pretty instantaneously. So we're going to go back over here again, click on the button, and show you what happens. It's going to ask you, first game, what game do you want to start with? Now, this is interesting because if you do have one of those, mega mammoth databases where you have hundreds of thousands or millions of games, and you acquire another 10,000 games and add them to your database, maybe you downloaded them off the internet, it's a PGN file that you've converted over to chess-based format, and then you realize to your horror that those last 10,000 games don't have ECO codes. You don't have to perform this operation on your entire database of bazillions of games. You can just do it on the games you just added. So let's say I've got a monster database of 4 million games, and I add these games to it, and suddenly I realize that they don't have ECO codes. All I have to do is scroll down, find what the first game is. 4,586,101 would be the first game number that doesn't have an ECO code, so I would type that number right in this box right here where it says first game. For a small database like this, we've got 12 games. None of them are classified, so I want to do them all. So I leave the first game setting at 1, click OK, and pow, we're done. Look where we are, right to the left of the date. We have ECO codes for all 12 games in this database. That's all there is to it. Just go to the database menu, set ECO code, set your first game number, starting game number like we did, click it, pow, it starts working. It takes a little while for huge databases. For a small database, you just saw it. It's basically instantaneous. And now you know what the ECO codes are. If you have, and why these are valuable, by the way, is when you do a game search, of course, you have the ability to search by ECO codes. Well, if you don't have ECO codes in the headers of your games, that kind of search is going to find nothing. It has nothing to look for. So you have to make sure you have values, some ECO code in the headers of all those games for an ECO code search to work. So that's why this is a valuable thing to do. If you have games in your database, or you have databases where there are no codes, very simple to add them. You just do it with a click, a click of a button here, click of a button here. It'll do it again. You come up with the same results. It thinks for a second. You'll see a little flash, and there we go. On a small database, but on a large database, say you have a 1 million game database, I think you can safely go get a cup of coffee and come back and check on it periodically. In the case of huge databases and a slow computer, it's possible the thing may run for hours before it's done. But in most cases, it's going to go pretty quick. That's all we're going to look at this week. I told you this would be a quick one, a little short thing, but that's how you put ECO codes in the game header using the Fritz12 interface. We have another cool little opening classification trick we're going to show you in the next chess-based workshop. So till then, have fun.